Hey folks, you're looking at my main computer, which is running Windows 7. My main computer has ran Windows 7 since, I'd say about 2009 or 2010. It's run it quite well. I've been very happy with Windows 7 over the years. It's never given me any trouble. But the time for me has come to upgrade to Windows 8.1. I was reluctant to do this for a long time on a lot of my machines because there was software incompatibilities I had issues with. Mainly virtual PC. Getting that to work was ridiculous. But as it turns out, friends of mine have figured out ways to do it in a way that's really pretty easy. So that's improved my opinion of it quite a bit. And there were also mouse issues with Grand Theft Auto, but those mouse issues also happened on Windows 7, and that was due to DLL problems. And now that we've figured all that stuff out, all the software that I use on Windows 7 will work just fine on Windows 8.1. So I no longer really have issues with Windows 8.1, especially with Start 8 and Start Menu 8 and Classic Shell and all the different utilities you can use to bring back the Start menu. Not to mention, the reason I'm making this upgrade is because the direction that Windows 8 is going is finally starting to improve. It seems like since Steve Ballmer left the company, they've kind of been trying to clean up the mess, so to speak. And they've really done it. Windows 8.1 was an improvement. I think it wasn't a huge improvement, but it was an improvement. I think the update that's coming tomorrow, as of the time I'm filming this video, is awesome. The update looks really good. It offers a lot of features that make Windows 8.1 feel a lot more finished. And not only that, but in an update after that, there are going to come more features, including bringing back the Start menu in a whole new way. So they're starting to clean up the mess a little bit, and I'm liking the direction that Windows is starting to go. Now that they've changed up their management a little bit and are starting to listen to what people want. So I think now is the time to upgrade, now that I've figured out how to get all my software to work just fine. I think it'll work. There's a lot of things I really like about Windows 8. For one, it's fast. Oh wow, is Windows 8 fast. The kernel in Windows 8 is fantastic. There are a lot of good features about this. One of the things I was impressed with when I tried Windows 8 on SSDs is how well it supports them. When you format an SSD using Windows 8, don't quote me on this, but this is from my memory and what I've been told. But apparently NTFS on Windows 8 has elements of WinFS in it, which through the file system supports flash-based storage a lot better than the NTFS on Windows 7 does. So Windows 8.1 is fantastic for people who use SSDs for that reason alone, that the file system supports it better. Not only that, but just the underpinnings of Windows 8, the way it runs is just fantastic. It runs really, really well. All those myths about floppy support going away and things like that, it's all a bunch of crap, from what I've can tell. Like, I have a USB floppy drive here. That will be used in Windows 8 just fine. It will work, I guarantee you. So, yeah, there's a lot of good things about Windows 8. The only thing I didn't initially like was the interface. But with programs like Start 8 for $5 and programs like Start Menu 8 and Classic Shell that are free of charge, in my opinion, you can make it work. And that's exactly what I'm going to do to my machine. I've already done it to a few of my machines, and this is sort of the last one in the pike. I was using the other machines as sort of a test bed to make sure everything worked fine during an upgrade, and it seemed to work great. The only machine, I've upgraded my bedside computer over there to Windows 8.1, and it's worked fantastically on there. The one computer that I have that's sort of a daily driver that I won't be putting Windows 8 on is this Asus. And ironically, this K55N came with Windows 8, but I got rid of Windows 8 because the trackpad utility was written in .NET Framework, and it forgets the settings constantly. But when you use Windows 7, it doesn't forget the settings at all because it doesn't run under the same conditions. It doesn't use .NET Framework, but on Windows 7, this laptop is fantastic. But so far on custom builds, I've noticed that Windows 8 works flawlessly. I've not had one problem with it on a custom build. Now, other machines like my workshop machine and my LAN party rig, I don't think I'll be putting Windows 8 on those because there's just no need. Because with gaming, it doesn't really make any difference at all as far as performance and things like that. So my daily drivers will probably get Windows 8.1, but I'll leave things like my LAN party machine and my workshop machine on Windows 7 probably for the foreseeable future, just because it works. What's the point of screwing with it? And I have tons of Windows 7 licenses anyway, and I should probably make use of them. So there you go. So what I'm going to do here with this machine is, since I only have a Windows 8 Pro upgrade disk, I'm just going to update this to Windows 8, then update it to 8.1. And then tomorrow, I'll install Update 1. So this is going to be one fell swoop of updates here. So I think we should get started. Alright, so I'm doing an in-place upgrade on this machine is how this is going to work. I know that's blasphemy to some people, but I've done this, I've experimented with this in the past on other machines, and the upgrades have been flawless because these upgrades are along the same main kernel from 6.1 to 6.2. The only time I really ever had an issue with upgrading was upgrading from XP to Vista. That was terrible. That's just bad. I had similar issues when upgrading on Mac OS X from Tiger 10.4 to Leopard 10.5. When you just do an in-place upgrade, it was really slow and awful. But as far as Windows 8 goes, it seems to work completely fine. I did the in-place upgrade on my bedside computer, had no issues whatsoever. Other than a weird glitch in the installer here. When it checks for compatibility, like it's doing right now, sometimes it will spit back a yellow box saying, "These need your attention," and it will just open your favorite web browser, or your default web browser rather, and tell you reboot your machine to continue installation. But when you click the restart button in the browser, it doesn't do anything, so you end up just having to restart manually down from the start menu. So I've just done that, and this is the second time it's running through this, so hopefully it actually works this time. That was the case on the bedside computer, so I assume it's going to work exactly the same on this machine. Yep, after you reboot it works. It's a weird little quirk there, but click install. And boom, there you go, installing Windows 8, and then it's just, it's just another Windows installation. It's nothing special. So, there you have it, guys. Just have to let this run, it'll restart a few times, and then you'll be in Windows 8. Then what I have to do after that is I have to run all the Windows updates, then download 8.1, then run updates on that. Then I'm done. I really need to get myself a Windows 8.1 OEM disk at some point. So I don't have to screw with this as much, but there you have it. I'll get one of those eventually, but for right now this works. So off to yeah, I'll just wait for this to finish, and then that'll be that. Now, I've made criticisms of Windows 8 in the past, and just because I'm actually going to be using this OS now doesn't mean that those criticisms aren't still valid. Like the fact that let's start with my main criticism. Microsoft tried to implement a one-size-fits-all solution into one OS that goes on everything. And in my opinion, that doesn't work when you have devices that specialize and an OS that doesn't. In my opinion, it seemed to make more sense when there were things like Windows XP variants that were made for desktops, and then there was like Windows XP Tablet Edition that was for tablets. Software like and then there's Windows Embedded and Windows Server. When software specializes for the hardware it's running on, it makes more sense. Windows 8 failed to deliver on that promise. Why am I using it? Because of the comfort of having the latest version of Windows on my computer, and for the speed. The performance of the operating system is very good. That's why I'm going to be using it. Even if you have to do a little bit of work and install some software to make it, sort of friendly on the desktop, it's fine. But later on, Microsoft is going to be remedying those problems anyway. So that kind of negates a lot of the criticisms that I had. They're starting to polish it. They're starting to make it better. So, you know, don't think I'm praising Windows 8 just because I'm going to be using it. But I still think the time has come. There are parts of Windows 8 I like, and those parts are the reason that I'm upgrading to this. So, upgrading to this, then upgrading to 8.1 after all those updates. Well, Windows 8.0 has been installed at least, and it works great. Had no issues whatsoever. As you can see, all my stuff is still there. Everything still works. So, there you go. What I did do in preparation is I've downloaded all the Windows 8.1 drivers for my motherboard. The drivers for the printers and the NVIDIA driver can all stay the same. Those all still work. And the NVIDIA driver, it literally is the same driver. So I don't have to touch that. But the motherboard drivers I'm going to update just because. Now, this is just Windows 8.0. What I have going on back here in the store is Windows 8.1 downloading. So I'll install that and we'll be good to go. After that, I will install Start 8. And then I will pick up the video probably sometime tomorrow when Update 1 comes out. So, yeah. Well, now I have Windows 8.1 fully running on my system. And it runs absolutely beautifully. I haven't had one issue so far, and it's been very quick. Very, very quick. Now, I still have the Core i3-2105, but very soon that will be upgraded to a 2600K. That'll be in a future video. But yes, Windows 8.1 Pro. Fantastic. The upgrade's gone without a hitch so far. Now this is the unexciting part. What I'm looking forward to is installing Update 1 tomorrow, so I can show you guys some of the features in that. And when that time comes tomorrow, I'll upgrade, and we'll see what it's all about. But yeah, I can say it works well. I also put Start 8. I've also installed Start 8 and got the original Windows button in there, so I have a full Start menu again. So I'm still the type that needs a Start menu, but it works fantastic. So there you go. I'm pretty happy with this upgrade. It performs a lot more nicely than Windows 7 ever did, surprisingly enough. So there you have it, guys. Until tomorrow. Well, folks, it's the next day, and I've installed Update 1 for Windows 8.1. And it's added some interesting stuff. The first thing I noticed is it shoved the store down in the taskbar. So now you can pin Metro apps, or modern UI apps, I should say, into the taskbar. When you open it, it stays in the taskbar. So you have here's the Windows Store. You have a Metro app open, but you still have the taskbar, which is excellent. Now, they did not add a Start menu to Update 1. That's coming in a later update. But what they did add is some really cool stuff. Like up here, they have sort of a title bar, and you have you have close and minimize buttons, like it should be on a desktop. It's a miracle. But they still haven't put a Start menu in, so I'm still using Start 8, and I'm guessing I probably will be for the foreseeable future. That along with some other things like resizing, like running Metro apps in a window, and making the Charms menu never ever come up on a desktop should be in a future update. But what this has done alleviates some of the problems and criticisms I've had of Windows 8 to begin with. It actually treats a desktop like a desktop a little bit more. Not completely, it's not all the way there, but it's improving. And this is what I was talking about with the direction of Windows 8 looking up now. So, things are looking good. Let me open another Metro app just to prove myself here. Let's open up I don't know, the news. There we go. I love that title bar up there. That just makes life easier. However, when you go over here, you still get that Charms menu in the way. I don't like that. But I can read the news in the news app. This is just fantastic. You can actually use Metro apps like they're, or modern UI apps like they're part of your daily routine on a desktop. All because you can close them like you would a normal app, and it doesn't have to use gestures and all that stuff. Windows 8.1 is starting to feel more finished, and I, for one, like the direction it's going. It performs... Oh, I've had it for about a day or so on my computer, and I can say the performance has been stellar. It's been better than Windows 7, at least, because it's just a faster system. The only issue I've had so far has been NVIDIA driver related and not related to Windows 8.1. Halo 2 for Windows was having some weird texturing issue, but that turns out to be an issue with the NVIDIA driver and my 750 Ti, so that would have happened on Windows 7 anyway. But everything I do, my daily routine, works fine on Windows 8.1. I can use 7 or XP on dedicated machines if I really, really need some specific work done. But for my daily driver, Windows 8.1 works very well, especially with Stardate. That's one program I can recommend wholeheartedly. It's totally worth the $5. But yeah, I've upgraded my main computer and my bedside computer to Windows 8.1 and installed Update 1 on both of them, and it's worked fantastic so far. Very happy with it. So just thought I'd document that. And just to tell you guys, it's getting better. It is getting better. So if those of you who are holding out till Windows 9, the future looks bright so far, even on Windows 8.1. So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good one, everybody. Ciao.